Welcome. It's our Thursday beginner class. Namaste. We're going to start seated. So go ahead and grab whatever you feel is going to help you sit in a sustainable way, and then sit in a sustainable way. So whatever that means to you, it might be seated cross-legged like I am, it might be crossed ankles, it might be crossed shins, it might be up against a wall, it might even be in a chair if that works for you. So let's call ourselves to the mat tonight. We'll close our eyes. The invitation is to close your eyes. Now, if that's not comfortable for you, then find a gaze that is turned downward without letting your body get droopy. So you're either looking at the mat in front of you, or your thighs or your hands. And again, let yourself sit in a way that is sustainable. We're going to be sitting for a few moments. And as we call ourselves to the mat, you're going to notice when we sit still and quiet, the mind tends to get very, very busy. And especially if this is a new thing for you, there's lots and lots and lots of questions. And that's okay. Just recognize that your mind's job is to be busy and distracted. Your job is to step back and observe. So imagine lying on your back watching clouds. And when we do that, we recognize that there's a distance between us. That we are not the cloud is not us. And this is the same with your thoughts. They are just the nature of your mind being busy and distracted, always scanning. Now, because we don't have to worry about saber-toothed tigers anymore, our fears, our thoughts are going to go towards oh, I forgot I left the pot on the stove. My boss yelled at me today. My kids won't pick up their socks. All of the things, right? Got to go to the grocery store on my way home. And again, so the mind busy and distracted. I'm going to invite us to take a deep breath. Inhale through the nose. Pause at the very top. So inflate. Pause. And then exhale, let it go. Big sigh, let it go. Make some noise. Now just breathe naturally here. And then I want you to just recognize where you're holding tension in your body. Most of us are going to hold it in our eyebrows, our jaw, our neck and shoulders. That's pretty common. Some of us will hold it in our bellies, our chest, our hands, our legs. So I want you to feel if you're anchoring down into the floor. Do you feel like you're really connected to the floor? Just notice, observe. And then let's do that breath again. And this time really let go. Let's take a deep breath. Inhale through the nose. Inflate as big as you possibly can. Pause at the top and then let it go. Make some noise. And see if you feel like you've dropped a little bit closer, a little bit heavier. Maybe some of the tension in your body has dissipated. Maybe, right? If that's not your experience, that's perfectly fine. Your experience is the valid one, and that's what we're looking for. So we might have a common situation, but your experience is going to be very different than someone else's. And so I often suggest to people, let's practice with our eyes closed, because yoga is profoundly personal. It's not a practice of watching somebody do something and then trying to form your body into that same thing. As we draw our attention back towards the sense of ourselves breathing, see if you can catch the rhythm of your breath. Do you feel the breath moving in and out? Where in your body does the breath enter? What parts of the body are moving? What parts of the body are being still? And our attention will keep dashing back and forth between thoughts and this suggestion of focusing on your breath. And that's okay. But I want us to breathe just a little bit wider, a little bit more nourishing, so you feel the breath move all the way around the circumference of your ribs. So you feel all of your ribs, front, sides, and back, move as the inhale expands your rib cage, and as the exhale contracts the rib cage. Let this be the breathing practice that we use for our practice today. And of course, we'll forget that often, so not to worry about it. When you're ready, again, we know how to do this, so let's see if we can trust ourselves. We know how to do this. So let's take your hands and just drop them down beside your legs. Just drop them down like your coat sleeves. And then on your inhale, find your inhale and let it wait. Let yourself wait. Find your inhale. On your inhale, take your arms up over your head. Use the breath to lift the arms. On the exhale, bring your hands back down. And we'll do that again 2 more times on your own. Use the inhale to lift the arms and the exhale to drop them. And you've got 1 more time. Next time your hands come down, we'll take our fingertips on the right hand down to the mat. And you're just going to walk them sideways away from you a little bit. Let's take the left hand and point to the wall beside you. And then circle your wrist around. Open and close your fingers. Let's take that left hand all the way up to the sky and side bend over to the right. So as you side bend over to the right, you're going to put a little bit of weight on that right hand, right? Turn your head as though you're saying no. And then find a spot where your head feels natural. And focus your breath into those left ribs. So you feel those left ribs expanding, opening, and away from each other. You're going to take your left hand, reach over to your right temple, so towards your right ear. Hold on to your head. Come through center with your head, and then tilt over to the left. Now, when you tilt over to the left, the urge is to pull on your head with your hand. So I want you to just be weighting your hand on your head. So it's just the weight of your hand. Good. Let's release that left hand down to the mat. Center yourself out. Pause for a second and see if you notice a difference between right and left. And maybe you do, and maybe you don't, and maybe you don't know what I'm talking about, and that's okay. Left hand down beside you. Walk your left hand away from you. Take your right hand, point to the wall beside you. Circle your wrist around, move your fingers. Take that right hand up and over, side bend. We've been here before. Turn your head, say no. Let your head find the release of tension. So if it's not no movements, then do something else that releases the tension from your neck. And then find a place that feels natural to leave your head. Breathe into those right ribs, feel the rib cage. Reach over, catch your temple on the left side. Come through center with your head, tilting to the right now. Good, so we've been here before. Again, notice the urge to pull and yank on your head because there's a stretch there. And for some of us, this is like, oh, this feels so good, and good is good, so more is better. Go ahead and let your hand come down, tilt your head back to center. And take your legs out in front of you and wiggle them around. Move your toes. Go ahead and grab your strap. And then we'll come to sit. If you want to sit cross-legged again, feel free. And if you can remember which leg was on top or in front, see if you can switch them out. So sit anyway. And again, if you're going to try to sit cross-legged again, see if you can switch the legs out. Take your strap nice and open. And all you're going to do is wind it around your hands until your hands come together, and then unwind and do it again. So nothing special or spectacular about this. And the next time your hands are open and the strap is all stretched out, we're going to just drop it. Good. So let's take that strap out into our hands again, nice and wide. So you're going to stretch the strap until it's nice and straight. And take an inhale, reach the arms up over your head. Take the strap up over your head and go a little bit behind you. On your exhale, you're going to bring your hands down and rest the strap on your thighs. And then you're going to repeat that. Inhale the strap up over your head, go a little behind you, maybe go a little bit further than you did last time. Exhale, bring it back down. Relax your arms, relax the strap. Let's do that again. Go a little bit further behind you. Okay, don't hold your breath. Exhale, come back down. Good. Maybe this time you can get it all the way down behind you. So take it up and over, and maybe it goes all the way down. Maybe it just goes part way, but you're going to come back up and over, back to the front of your thighs, and relax the strap on each side. So let's go back and forth, front to back, letting the strap relax down on both sides. So once the strap goes behind, you relax. Once the strap comes in front, you relax. And a couple more times. And then next time the strap is down behind you, we're going to meet there and just drop the strap. Good, just pause and notice. Let's take your legs out in front of you and circle your feet around and move your ankle, move your toes. Now if you're going to come back to a cross-legged position, see if you can remember which leg was on top, and switch them out. Now for a lot of us sitting, we tend to sit one way. So when we go to switch the leg that's on top, it's going to feel weird. And that's the when you're going to know that you've switched it out. Right, so we're going back and forth. All right, you're going to grab your strap with your right hand. You're going to drop your hand behind your shoulder and lift your elbow to the sky. So it's like you're putting sunscreen on your back. Take your left hand out to the side, turn your thumb down, and then come behind your waist and grab the strap. And then wiggle your fingers along the strap until they come closer to each other. So the bottom hand is going to go up, the top hand is going to go down. Your fingers never have to touch each other. Maybe they only touch each other in your imagination. Maybe they never get together. Maybe they do. Doesn't really matter. But what I'd like you to do is notice if your position is upright and your head is neutral. And then with the arm on your back, can you feel yourself breathing? Can you feel the breath moving into those back ribs? Let's let go of the strap and drop it down. And just pause and see if you notice a difference between right, left. Take your legs out in front of you, swish them around, and then recross with the other leg on top or in front. The strap is still behind you. Let's try this on the other side. So we've been here before. Strap in the left hand, drop the strap behind your shoulder, elbow points to the sky. Right? Right hand goes out to the side, turn your thumb down, reach behind your waist and catch the strap. So try to catch it right behind your waist, and then you don't have to work so hard. So if you catch it way down here, then you've got a long way to go. So if you kind of go behind your waist and catch the strap there, you don't have so far to go, right? And then wiggle your fingers towards each other. Let your elbow point to the sky. Yeah. And then center yourself out so that you're sitting neutral. Yeah, let your fingers walk down towards each other. So the top hand goes down and the bottom hand goes up. Once you've settled yourself in, see if you feel your breath. Do you feel your breath with your arm on your back? Maybe yes, maybe no. Maybe your mind is spinning and that's okay. And can you kind of shift your attention, even for the briefest of moments, to feel yourself breathing? And then go ahead and drop your strap. Let's take your legs out in front of you and swish your legs around. Move your strap off to the side. Now, if you're sitting on a blanket, you might want to take that out from underneath you. We tend to travel, with this next movement here. So bring your feet flat to the mat with your knees up. Lean back like you're on the beach, and then take some nice big space between your feet and your knees. So lots of room here in between. And you're just going to wave your knees from side to side. So just lazy, lazy, lazy beach. Let your knee drop as much as you want, but if you give yourself some space, the knee will have room to drop. If it doesn't, it's okay, right? You're just going to go where you go. It just goes where it goes. That's just what it is. Next time your knees are over to the right, we're going to meet there so that your feet are over on the left side. Wiggle around until it feels right, and the legs can stay there. Okay, so you might need to move something around. Only you know the fine details of anything yourself. So walk your right hand out beside you a little bit more. Take your left hand to the sky. So you can see that it's directly over top of you. Push yourself away from the floor, and then reach towards the back corner, towards that right back corner. Let your knee and your hip move away from each other, and you're going to kind of rotate towards the back. So it's kind of like you can see that back corner. Good. Are you breathing? Let's come back to center. You come off of your right hand. You're going to leave yourself sitting still here and take your left hand onto your pocket. Now you can do this with your hand on your pocket, or you can put your hand under your buttocks. Sometimes I need to lift my actual buttocks here, but you're going to take this hip and move it towards this knee and then drop it down, and do that a couple of times. So the chest isn't doing any rotating. We just rotated the chest there. We're going to leave the chest still facing forward, and you're just going to move your hip up and down. Good. And sometimes I actually have to lift my butt. So just grab your blessings and pick them up. No drama, just let it happen, right? So whatever works best for you. Remember, this is a practice where if we are closing our eyes and focused on ourselves, then we don't know what anybody else is doing. And if we all make this pact, then we know somebody else's eyes are closed, so they're not looking at you anyways. So go ahead and let your hip drop down. I want you to think about your left leg, your left knee. Your foot is going to stay on the floor. Your left knee is going to lift to the sky and then drop back down, and you're going to do that a bunch more times. So just pick up your knee like you're butterflying your leg, lift it up and drop it down, lift it up and drop it down, lift it up and drop it down, lift it up and drop it down. Yep, simple, simple, simple. Sometimes we spend too much time thinking about something when we really know what we need to do. And then drop that knee down and leave it there. Okay, come off of your hands. You're going to pick up your left leg and bring it around in front of you. Pick up your right leg and see if you can join it. Don't worry about it. No big deal. Take your left foot and cross it underneath you. And then take your right foot over to the other side. So here we are on the other side. Left hand down, you get to lean on it. Right arm to the sky, we've been here before. Reach back to that corner. Rotate and see what that corner looks like. Good, come on back to center. Center yourself out. You might have to move and wiggle things around. Those are fine details for you to discover. Hand on your pocket, and you're going to move that pocket towards your left knee now. So right pocket to left knee. So go ahead and rotate that up a few times, forward and back. Just gliding the hip up and down. And when you do this, you might feel the pelvis is moving, the thigh bone is moving, but are they moving together? They're kind of yes and kind of no, right? So what's going on with your actual body when this is happening? What's going on here? And then drop your hip down. We'll just hang there for a second and see what you need to adjust so that you can pick up your right knee. So butterfly your right knee up and down, up and down, up and down. So your foot stays still. And you might notice one side's substantially more mobile than the other side. Maybe, for some of us, maybe that's not the case at all. And then whenever you feel like it, just set your knee down. All right, come off of your hands. Okay, here we go. Nice little challenge. Bring the foot around to the front. Bring your other foot around to the front. Yeah. Tuck your right foot underneath you. Bring your left leg around, and then come onto your hands and your knees. Now, if you need padding for your knees, then make sure that it's there. You've got a blanket. Go ahead and pad up your knees. We're going to be here for a few moments. Your blocks should be at the top of your mat on either side of your mat. And I want you to find in this hands and knees position where your spine lives. So our spine is on our back. And if you took your two fingers and put them in your ears and touched your fingers together, they would touch the top of your spine. So your head, your neck, your shoulders, your low back, your ribs, and your tail are all part of your spine. So we're going to move the whole spine. So when we talk about our spine, we're talking about our back body, right? So on an exhalation, so wait until you feel the exhalation happening, and then round your spine like you're an angry cat. So use the exhalation, round your spine. Good. Now you notice that you moved your head, you also moved your tail. You're looking at your belly button's looking at you. Right, your shoulder blades are spread open. Your arms are really stretched long. Now we're going to go in the exact opposite direction. So let your belly move towards the floor, lift your chin and lift your tail. Good. Now go back and forth, finding the exhale to round an angry cat. And then on the inhale, go in the opposite direction, cow belly or back bend. Now, the next time you're in angry cat, you can see your feet. Bring your big toes together and take your knees apart. And then push your bottom back like you're going to sit down on your heels. Walk your hands forward out in front of you and give yourself a big cat stretch. So your hands go forward, your butt goes backwards. Give yourself a big cat stretch. So I'm going to call this child's pose. Can you feel the breath into the back of your body? So feel your back ribs moving. So we did this earlier when we had our hand on our back. We could feel if we were breathing. Now, next time you're exhaling, so wait for it. Let the exhalation happen here and pull yourself back up to your angry cat, hands and knees position. Hands stay where they are. Now think about your belly button. You're going to move it forward over your thumbs and put it down on the mat. Put your belly button down on the mat. And then put your chest down. Again, slide your elbows forward until you look like you're watching TV and lift your chest. So slide your elbows forward until you look like you're watching TV and lift your chest. So let's try this. Slide your elbows backwards so that they're close to your belly button. Now try to lift your chest. Does it feel stuck? You can only go so far, yeah? Slide your arms forward and then try to lift your chest. It's kind of stuck, right? Slide your elbows backwards right underneath your shoulders and see if you can lift your chest. So in between the too far forward and too far backwards. Right? So there's that Goldilocks spot for everything. Right? And we're going to call this Sphinx pose, and I want you to just droop through your shoulders and tuck your chin and look at your belly. Now we just did an angry cat here, so we're going to do an angry cat with our spine. It's not going to be as big and dramatic. And then come to the cow belly position. Lift your chin and look forward. Lift your chest. Good. Let's look over shoulders and see if you can find your feet. Look for your feet. And then come back to center. Press from your wrist to your elbow down into the mat so that your chest can lift right up and look forward. Your neck should feel really relaxed. It shouldn't feel strained. Can you feel your belly moving with your breath? Let's lower all the way down. Grab your strap and roll onto your side. It doesn't matter what side you roll onto, just roll onto your side. Bring your knees into the chair position. And you're going to fold your strap in half. And you're going to hold on to the strap close to the fold. So you're making a little loop. Okay? You're going to hold it with the hand that's on the ceiling side or the sky side. So again, knees in chair position. So you made a little loop with your strap. Bring your top knee into your chest and slide your foot through the loop and hold on right at your ankle. Okay. Once you've got your hand at your ankle, you're going to pull your heel around behind your buttocks so that your knee points away from your belly button. So point your knee right away from your belly button and then look down at it and see if it's dropping down to the floor or pointing to the sky. And could you put it in a line right from your belly button down? Let your shoulder relax so your head can sit down on your arm. Take a breath, inhale and exhale. Now we're going to bring the knee forward and slide the strap up behind your knee. Let go. Drop your knee on the floor in front of your belly button. Bring both arms out in front of your chest like you're clapping. So one hand on top of the other. Take your top hand all the way to the sky. You're going to follow it. You're going to look at it as it goes around and drops on the floor behind you. Let your chest go. Let your head go. Good. Now, if your arm is lifted up in the middle of nowhere, that's okay. If you're okay with that, we're just going to be here for a few moments. But if it's not good for you, you can always grab strap or sorry, not a strap, but a block or a blanket or whatever it is that you need to let it be supported. So don't wait for an invitation to take a prop. They're there for you. I use them all the time. Now we're going to roll onto our back. I want you to grab that strap with the same hand. Roll onto your back. Bring your feet flat to the mat with your knees up. You're holding onto the strap with the hand that belongs to that leg, right? And you're going to hold onto the strap right at your thigh, so right in front of your knee. Pick up the other leg and cross that ankle over that thigh. So just now use the strap to pick that foot up off the floor. Now, if you like the strap, you can do this on the other side. And same with our side lying bow that we just did a moment ago. But if you feel like you can do this with your hands, then just replace the strap with your hand. So again, props are yours. You get to use them whenever you want to. They're really great. Sometimes our arms are too short to do things or the floor is too far away. Now you're just going to stay here and you're going to breathe and you're going to feel the outer hip. Mm-hmm. Let's untangle your feet and we're going to take the strap off of that leg and we're going to put it behind the other knee and hold on to that strap at your knee and switch your ankle. So take the other ankle over your thigh. So you're switching your ankle. The one that's on top is the one that does not have a strap on it. Yeah. And this leg towards you. Okay. Maybe you want to use your hands instead of the strap. Now you're going to take the leg that's on top, you're just going to take it off, and you're going to slide that strap down around your ankle. You're holding on at your ankle, roll over to the other side, and knee behind your buttocks, just like you did a moment ago. Pull your heel behind your buttocks, not your knee, sorry. Your knee goes, yep, so pulling your heel backwards behind your backside. So you're holding on at your ankle. So hold on to the strap with the top hand, right at your ankle. Lie on your side. Now pull that heel around behind your buttocks. Yeah, there you go. So we've been here before. Right. Look down and see what your knee's doing. See if you're breathing. You can feel your ribs against the mat underneath you. And then slowly release, bring your knees back together. Drop the strap and drop your knee in the floor in front of your belly button. Both hands in front of your chest, like you're clapping. Take your top arm to the sky, follow it, look at it as it drops down on the floor behind you. Your shoulders turn, your head turns. Now you might need to wiggle around, only you know that for sure. But notice if you're breathing. Let's roll our shoulders back towards ourselves. So we're lying on our side again. And then come all the way over onto your hands and knees. Remember, if you need padding for your knees, go ahead and grab it. So from your hands and knees position, we're going to take that cat and cow we did earlier. So rounding your spine on the exhale and then back bending on the inhale. Next time you're in the angry cat position, you're going to move your belly button forward towards your thumbs and put your belly button down on the floor. So round angry cat, belly button goes down. Yep, means you got to bend your elbows. Lower belly down, go all the way. Slide your elbows forward and come to that Sphinx pose that we were in a moment ago. Lift your chest so your elbows come to the floor in front of you. So your elbows come to the floor in front of you like you're watching TV, like we did earlier. Sphinx pose. Good. Make sure that your neck feels really long and comfortable. You don't need to put unnecessary strain on parts that are already strained. We're trying to counter what we do during a day. Go ahead and lower down and then slide your hands back because you're going to do a push-up. Inhale, push yourself up. Inhale, push up. Now lift your knees up off the floor and stick your backside up in the air. Lift your knees up off the floor. Stick your backside up in the air. Now I want you to look back at your feet and put one heel right down on the floor and do whatever you want with your other foot. I usually take mine right up off the floor. Good, so put one heel right down. So let it go down. And then switch. So you might have to move your feet around to get your heel to come down. Right, so the foot that's still on the floor, the heel should be on the floor as well. Yeah, so you might have to move your feet around to do that. And then switch and switch and switch. Let's lower our left knee down onto the mat. And in angry cat position, bring your right knee to your nose. Angry cat, your spine, bring your right knee to your nose. Try and touch your knee and your nose together. Now reach your foot back and try and touch the wall behind you with your foot. And do that 2 more times. Angry cat, your spine, round your knee, bring your knee to your nose. Good. Now next time you're in the angry cat position with your knee to your nose, fire hydrant your leg out to the side, and then step your foot all the way up to your baby finger. Put it on the mat, up at your baby finger. Find out where your finger is. It's on your hand. Put your foot up there. Yep, there you go. Right. Bring your hands onto your blocks. If they're on the outside or the inside of your feet, it doesn't matter. Turn the blocks upright. Put your fingertips on the blocks and lift your chest. And I want you to step on that foot. So you could take your hands off the block. You should feel this foot stepping down. And then when you do that, you should feel muscles in your leg active. Right? All of the muscles in your leg are active now. Inhale your arms up over your head. So did you notice that we stepped on our foot, we created some stability and balance for ourselves first, and then we took our arms up. So we weren't in a big hurry to get our arms up over our head. Big breath. Let your front knee bend so it shoots past your toes. Let your front knee go way past your toes. Let it go. And then hook your thumbs together like you're trying to pull them apart and take a back bend. So we've been in the back bend a couple of times now. And then exhale, bring your hands down. Push your hips backwards to straighten out your front leg. Pushing your hips backwards, you're straightening out your front leg. So push your bum backwards and straighten out your front leg. Just straighten it out. Just stick it out straight. Yeah, it's okay. It's just, yeah, we're overthink things. We just overthink things. Circle your foot around, which is why I'm saying practice with your eyes closed. Circle your other foot the other way. And then step your foot down again, so your knee's going to bend again. Pick up your foot and put it back where you got it from. You're going to come to hands and knees. Pause for a second and see what this feels like. Does right side, left side feel different? All right, let's try this on the other side. Angry cat your spine. Your hands can go to the floor. They can stay on your blocks. It doesn't really matter to anybody but you. Right? So you decide if you want to keep your hands on your blocks or put them on the floor. Doesn't matter. Angry cat your spine. Bring your left knee to your nose. Inhale, stretch your leg out. And do that 3 more times. Exhale, angry cat your spine. Bring your knee to your nose. Inhale, stretch it out. Exhale 1 more time. Stretch it out. Now next time it comes to your belly, fire hydrant it out to the side and step your foot up all the way to your baby finger. So find out where your finger is and your foot's got to go there. No drama, just get it up there, right? Tilt your blocks upright. Put your fingertips on the blocks. Step on your front foot so that you feel the muscles of your leg get really active. They're like, oh, okay, we're going to stand up. Once you get that feeling, go ahead and take your arms up over your head. Hook your thumbs together, butterfly your fingers. Now it feels natural, so switch it. Switch the thumb. Good. Take a big stretchy stretch. Bend your front knee so it goes way past your toes and take a back bend. Good. Yeah, let your knee go. Let it go. And then send your hands down and straighten out your front foot or straighten out your front leg. Right? Your hips go back. We've been here before. Your hips go backwards, your leg straightens out, and then you get to circle your foot around a couple of times in one direction and a couple of times in the other direction. Step your foot down on the mat, so bend your knee again. This time you're going to step your back foot forward, so you're standing on your feet at the top of the mat with your butt stuck up in the air and your head dropped down. So come forward to stand with your head down and your hips up. Head down and your hips up. Yeah, so let go of holding on to anything. So whether it's your blocks or the floor, and hold on to your own elbows. Let your arms dangle and bend and stretch your knees a little bit. So just bend in your knees and then straighten them and bend and straighten them. Let yourself feel it out. How far do you want to bend them? How far do you want to straighten them? And then let your legs be straight, not stick straight, not squeeze straight, just straight, and drop your hands. Just drop them. Look at your toes, and you're going to walk your hands up your legs. So bend your knees just a little bit. Look at your toes. Keep looking at your toes. Keep looking at your toes. They're really super interesting. Look at your toes. Keep looking at your toes as you stand up. And then when you feel comfortable, go ahead and lift your head, look forward. Find your chest open by putting your shoulders on your back. So we're not squeezing them. We're just putting them back where they belong, on your back. Take a big breath. Inhale, reach your arms up over your head. Grab your right wrist with your left hand. You're going to side bend over to the left. Now you're going to, like you're lassoing, you're going to bring your arm around to this reach corner forward. Reach front wall forward. Reach other corner forward. Go around over your head to the back. And then go again. Circling around behind yourself. Go around. Let's do that 2 more times in that direction. And then somewhere along the way, it's going to feel intelligent to kind of stop for a second so you can switch directions. At some point, switch the directions and go maybe 3 times the other direction. Now let's switch the wrist that you're holding so it feels a little bit more natural. Maybe, right? Might feel more natural to switch the wrist. And then next time you're coming around to the front, we're going to meet there and just drop your hands and come back to that neutral standing posture that we left a moment ago. Right? Feet underneath you, shoulders on your back. Let's take an inhale. So when you're ready to inhale, no need to rush, just wait for it. Inhale the arms all the way to the sky. It doesn't matter how they get there, just reach the arms up on the inhale. On the exhale, bring your hands down, bend your knees, put your arms out in front of you like Frankenstein and sit in a chair. Good. Now you can keep your hands here if you like this. You can take your arms open to the side if you like that. You can bend your elbows if you like that, or you can take your arms up beside your ears if you like that. So chair pose. Shift your weight over onto your left foot and bring your right tiptoes to the mat. You got a little balance challenge here. Okay. You're going to flamingo your foot up off the mat. And then super slow, you're going to step your foot backwards and put it down. Take your arms up over your head. Good, so we've been here before. We just did it earlier with the knee down on the floor. Let your front knee be bent. Warrior one. So super strong legs here. You're nailing your foot to the floor, so you should have that feeling you had when we were kneeling down. This leg, if you squeeze your kneecap into your thigh, you might feel that same kind of strength in that back leg as well. Maybe. Let's take your hands down. Take your front foot and wiggle it sideways to the middle of the mat just a little bit. So nothing in it changed, you just moved it over. Take your back foot and turn it sideways so that it's open a little bit, and turn your torso to match. Okay, nothing else has changed. Reach one arm to the front of the room and one arm to the back of the room, and then turn your gaze over the front arm. So the bent knee arm is the front arm, so you're looking forward. Warrior two. We're building our poses from the ground up, right? This front leg feels the same way it did a moment ago. Back leg as well. Let's reach both arms up over your head, straighten your front leg, and turn your toes to the side. So now all 10 toes are facing sideways. Circle your arms around behind you, put your hands on your back, support your back, and take a back bend. Support your back and take a back bend, just like you would if you were gardening. Just take the back bend you would take if you were gardening. So the back bend, so going backwards. Right, so remember we've done a couple of back bends already. Now come forward all the way, fold forward, and then bring your hands down to the floor. Good, swish your hips from side to side. So bending one knee, bending the other knee, bending one knee, bending the other knee. Listen carefully to me. Walk your fingers forward towards the top of your mat. Pivot your toes forward. So now you're facing forward, and then step your feet together. Look at your toes and roll up nice and slow. Walk your hands up your legs or dangle them, it doesn't matter. It only matters to you. Keep looking at your toes. Come to stand, shoulders on your back. Let's take that chair pose again. So arms go where you want them to go. Sit yourself in a chair. Arms can go forward like Frankenstein. Arms can go out to the side like an airplane. Bend your elbows like goalposts or cactus. Reach your arms straight up over your head. Either way. Shift your weight onto your right foot and bring your left tip toes to the mat. So again, we're here in this little balance posture. Right? Could you take those toes off the floor? Maybe. Flamingo your foot, and then you're going to super slow step backwards. Step backwards far enough to come to your warrior one pose on the other side. So we've been here before. Set your legs up and then take your arms up. Your torso is over top of your pockets. So instead of being forward over your leg, it's over top of your pockets. So your shoulders are over your belly, over top of your hips. Let's bring our hands down so we can wiggle the front foot over to the middle just a little bit, and then open your back foot up and turn to the side. So if you're leaning forward, you're going to have a struggle with this. Try to get yourself to be standing upright. The bent knee doesn't change. Okay, and then reach arms, one to the front room, one to the back of the room. You got warrior two, and your gaze is going to go over that front arm. You might want to have a look at your front knee and just make sure it's kind of aligned with your foot, because sometimes knees want to follow your belly button, and then sometimes that puts a lot of stress on the inside ligament of your knee. So you kind of want to maybe sort that out a little bit. Let's take the arms up over your head, straighten your front leg, turn your toes to the side of the mat. Now turn your heels inward, so heels come towards each other. Bend your knees, now bend your elbows. Good. Find your shoulders over your pockets. Maybe drop down a little bit. Maybe drop down a little bit more. Bend forward, put your fingertips on the floor, back side's up in the air. Swish your hips from side to side. Listen carefully to me. Walk your fingers forward towards the front of your mat. Turn your toes in that direction. Step forward so you're upside down at the top of your mat. And drag your hands up your legs, nice and slow. Keep looking at your toes. As you get upright and you feel comfortable, take your hands all the way to the sky. Good stretch all the way up. Reach up and then circle your arms around behind you. Hold on to your own hands behind you. So behind your waist. And then take a nice big chest stretch. Let's release the hands and walk them back down to the mat so that you're upside down again. Good, let go of any urge to try and touch the floor. If your arms are long enough and they touch the floor, great. If they're not, great, who cares? Let your chin relax, let your arms relax. See if your arms are dangling and see if your head is dangling. Now stretch your fingers so that you can touch the floor. Bend your knees if you need to. Put your hands down and step one foot, the other foot backwards. Put your hands right down on the floor, on the mat. Good. Look back at your shins. Wiggle your head. See if you're relaxed in your neck. And then nice and slow, go ahead and lower your knees all the way down. Good. Take a little cat-cow if you want to. And then meet me on your back. Coming all the way down onto your back. Same. Take a deep breath, inhale as you exhale, flatten your back against the mat. Leave your back flat against the mat, try and pick up your bottom. Now pick up and pick up your chest. Now you're going to lower your chest, your ribs, your belly button, and then finally your pelvis. We're going to do that. Back. Pull your hips up off the mat. Pull your belly. Pull your ribs. And then pick up your chest and hold it up here. Wiggle your arms so that your arms, the shoulder to your elbow, starts hiding underneath you. So if you're looking at yourself from the sky, you couldn't see that part of your arm. And then maybe if your hands are close enough to each other, you can grab them. Stretch your elbows straight. And then lift your chest up just a little bit more like you have tennis balls under your shoulder blades. So come up off of the mat. Let go of your hands. Put your chest down, your ribs down. Hug your knees into your chest, rock them. Put one foot to the mat. The other knee comes. And again, just the sequence, not the pace. Press up onto your hip and pause. And then make your way to any kind of upright position that is sustainable for a few moments. We'll meet with eyes resting a few moments longer and palms together in front of the heart. Let's take a moment to say thank you to yourself for coming to do this work. Remember that it's just breathing. That's all it is. You just need to breathe. Nothing else, just breathe. I'm going to chant a single Om to seal the practice. You are welcome, of course, to chant with me. You're, of course, welcome to just sit back and receive as well. If we're chanting together, let's take an inhale here. Namaskar. Namaste. Namaste, namaste.